Well, we're just a few games into the season and already it's wild out there. New season, same old drama, but for Caitlyn Clark, the Bullies are back. However, this time she's not alone. So far, some of the biggest names in the NBA are speaking out, and they're not holding back, I can tell you. So, join me as I walk you through why NBA players are stepping in to defend Caitlyn Clark and how she's fighting back.
So, that's a flagrant foul.
That's not a flagrant foul.
Okay.
Caitlyn Clark, the easy target. If there was one thing that Caitlyn Clark wasn't having in her sophomore year, it was most definitely being the easy target for other WNBA players.
Every time you play rookies, you just want to fucking kill them.
And that was my advice.
Like, seriously. And it's not necessarily like...
Because it's so easy.
I mean, it's one thing to have the rookie experience, but having 17% of all the flagrant fouls of the 2024 WNBA season committed on Caitlyn changes something even in the calmest basketball player. She was getting bullied both on and off the court during her legendary season, and both were equally as bad. Now on the court, she was getting fouled like this.
And Clark. I mean, that's clear all which was called. The question is, will they call it unnecessary? Kennedy Carter.
Like this.
Here's Clark for 29 points, gets tripped up. I want to welcome in our Ion audience who are watching Minnesota and Dallas. Indiana Fever in the Chicago Sky here from Wintrust Arena. The Fever have really stretched out this one.
And like this. This particular foul wasn't even called.
Seattle, and all of a sudden, we're pretty close. This has been as close as it's been all second quarter long. 44.
Connecticut Sun Guard Dejonan Carrington. Angel Reese thought it was the usual gracious Caitlyn, but she couldn't be more wrong. The foul was called a flagrant foul, and Caitlyn stood on business, saying there was nothing malicious about it and that every basketball player knows that.
Walk me through your perspective on the flagrant foul, and what was the point you were trying to make to her?
It's just a good take foul, you know. If either Angel gets wide open 2 points, or we send him to the free throw line. Nothing malicious about it. It's just a good take foul. Every basketball player knows that.
The usual Caitlyn might have been apologetic, but not this one. And you should know that it wasn't just the Angel Reese incident that has proven that Caitlyn is now giving.
She's performed last year. She's performing again this year. I think she's the rightful face of.
Paul George praised Caitlyn for not just letting her game do the talking, but also finally talking back to her bullies.
Not only is her game talking, but she's out there talking. Like, she's backing it up.
I love Caitlyn Clark personality, man.
I love her too, man. I think she's great for the game of basketball in general, bro.
Now, not everyone's happy about Caitlyn clapping back. After the Caitlyn and Angel incident happened, the Indiana Fever Guard's usual critic, Cheryl Swoops, labelled Caitlyn a bully. However, former NBA stars like Kenyon Martin, Gilbert Arenas, and Nick Young, who were present, were having none of that. After criticising Caitlyn for the foul, Cheryl Swoops doubled down on her criticism of Caitlyn Clark when she faulted her for not standing on business after fouling Angel.
My thing with that was, like, stand in it.
Stand on business.
Okay. Right? Like, don't walk away. My other issue was, I also have always been taught when I played, go grab your own teammate, don't come grab my team.
Unfortunately for Cheryl, Kenyon Martin, Gilbert Arenas, and Nick Young were all former professional basketball players and could tell a hard foul from a flop, because if there was a hard foul on that incident, then it had to be when Angel Reese shoved Natasha.
On both sides of it, there ain't no damn flagrant foul, man.
That's not a flagrant? A hard foul?
Damn flagrant foul.
Angel's push was a lot harder.
Yeah, well,
flagrant
it was.
Foul, man.
Not the initial part, but Caitlyn later on pushed her. It was.
I'm talking about the push before to get the Angel's push on
They've called.
They're just trying to get control of the game. That's not a
No, they
foul.
weren't. No.
It's not a foul.
They weren't trying to. Listen, they've called softer flagrant fouls in the NBA.
I said it's all soft.
So that's a flagrant foul.
That's not a flagrant.
Okay.
Nah.
Gilbert Arena and Nick Young even called Angel a flopper, saying her reaction was too much.
I was like, no, it wasn't.
You don't think it's more of a flop?
So show all the different angles. I didn't think it was a flop.
Hey, I feel like Angel. Keep going.
Huh?
You held her hands you're strong as shit. I seen the Thomas push. Look at all that. Come on. Yeah, that's
You seen the what?
That Thomas body slam, and I'm like, okay, that was a real foul.
Oh, for sure.
And you feel like Caitlyn should have stood on business there? That's just foul. Yeah. Stood on what business? Come on.
So you didn't see Caitlyn push?
Yeah, so she ain't trying to fight. So
somebody that's strong. Somebody wobble up. Can you? Know what I mean? Somebody that's solid.
And when Cheryl tried to say that if roles were reversed, it'd be a bigger deal, well, they still weren't having it.
My thing is, had Angel or anyone else done the exact same type of a foul to Caitlyn, the storyline's different.
Newsflash! Cheryl didn't need to paint some imaginary picture because it all happened last season. And back then, Caitlyn Clark was just told to toughen up. For what it's worth, both Kenyon and Gilbert stood on business.
Gil fouls you like that. What's your reaction? No big deal?
No, they don't mean it.
Okay.
That means every foul we done fouled Shaquille O'Neal.
I know who he is.
Jeff Teague was also Team Caitlyn, and he called Angel Reese out for flopping in that incident.
That's not a bad foul.
But
look at the bench.
A lot of people didn't see like the play before that.
I'm gonna keep it gangster with her. She flopped.
Yeah, and she pushed the girl first.
Yeah,
that's what people are not seeing. That I don't like that shit. Niggas weren't watching the games, so
bro, it's basketball. There are flagrant fouls. There are all types of stuff that happens in basketball. Stop being weird.
I know I like Angel Reese, but that's a flop. Like she just reached down and hit the ball. She ain't push you afterward. She can't.
The former NBA All-Star confessed that Angel Reese was doing too much after the foul.
And I'm okay with you reacting like that. Be on that. That's cool.
Now, if she would have swung up at your throat and shit like that, then you could have tweeted.
Yeah, she went. But I hate when people do the extra. Like, relax, y'all.
Ain't nobody about to fight basketball.
And y'all know Caitlyn Clark not gonna fight, bro.
No way.
She walked right by.
She
really was about to help her up at first.
Yeah, that's basketball, but look, bro, she's not trying to fight, bro. She's out there to hoop.
She really is about to help.
If former NBA stars who played the game at the highest level think you are doing too much, then you know what? Maybe you are doing too much. Even Skip Bayless, yes, Skip, shares the same opinion. The sports analyst even went as far as to warn Caitlyn's bullies because the young guard actually moves the needle. No one else does it like she does, and they'd better get in line.
You'd better believe that all of the established stars in this WNBA, as well as lots of veteran starters on every other team, constantly, quietly, privately complain to their coaches and to their team executives about Caitlyn Clark getting way too much attention and way too much credit for the exploding TV ratings. The attitude I sense from so many other older WNBA players seems to be, what do we chop liver? It's not just her driving these ratings. What have we been doing all these years? Sorry, ladies, but compared to her drawing power, you are chopped liver. You're just going to have to accept that she and she alone is driving the ratings way above what all of you together were able to generate before she first set foot on a WNBA stage.
Well, this many people standing up for Caitlyn Clark in her sophomore year and commending her for finally standing up to her bullies is commendable. The era of just taking it and smiling while doing it is over, and even basketball fans had to agree, according to a fan's comment. Caitlyn's confidence is growing and she's only getting better now. Another fan commented, "The league better watch out. This is no longer the old and nice Caitlyn Clark." If you enjoyed this video, the next video on your screen is worth your time for sure. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.